solving inequalities. Believe it or not, solving inequalities is not a whole lot different than what we've done for solving equations. The difference is, instead of an equal sign, there will be an unequal sign. Let me show you what I mean. Let me show you what I mean. If this is what we were given, and the answer would be, well, we need to solve for x, we simply go through and say, all right, I need to move, I'm gonna choose to move my x's to the right-hand side, and I do it that way. Subtract 3x from both sides. So I'm left on the left-hand side with negative 4. On the right-hand side, I have 4x, 7 minus 3, 3x, and then I still have my minus 2. So now I want to take this negative 2 and move it to that side. So you can see I just subtracted 2 from both, or excuse me, added 2 to both sides, so that adds to 0. Negative 4 plus 2 is negative 4. Last step then would be to divide both sides by 4. And I have, ran out of room here, x equals negative 2/4, which I reduced to 1/2. Alright, so what do we do for inequalities? Let me show you. What's the first thing you notice? Well, first thing that a lot of people notice is this symbol is no longer an equal sign. This is an inequality. Now remember, we went through this a little bit a couple weeks ago. We did it for a couple weeks ago. There are 4 different inequality signs. Let me write those down. We have the greater than symbol, because you would read this, something here is bigger, because it's the open to the bigger side. This is greater than this. Then on the next one down here, I'd have something is less than something. That's the less than symbol. I've got greater than or equal to and less than or equal to. So the process, though, remains the same. I want to solve for x. Currently, all my x's are on one side, so I need to move my numbers to the other side. So that moving process will be that I add 5 to both sides. Both sides of the inequality, just like equal sign. So then over here I'll have 2x greater than or equal to 12. Divide by 2, because 2 is the inverse, because multiplication is the inverse operation of division. Division is the inverse of multiplication. Greater than or equal to 6. That is my answer. Now, way back in the day, you did this on a number line. So I'm kind of giving you a little beginning phase here. My boundary point is 6, because that's the 6 right here. All right. I am greater than or equal to. The equal to means that on that graph, I'm going to have a closed dot here, because I could be equal to 6. And then the rest of it, I say, okay, well, what is greater than 6? Greater than 6 are any numbers that are more than 6. So this is 5. That's 7. And I would say, okay, anything greater than 6 will be everything in this direction. And I shade it going to that side. And that's how I graph it. I'm a little ahead of myself because that's not till the next section. Let's do one more example problem. I'm going to choose a slightly more complicated example here, or I should say sophisticated example here, to show how to solve. I'm going to remember from class that I want to cross multiply, and I start in the numerator and I go across, left to right, 3x plus 2, cross multiply, times 3, that 3 in the denominator. Alright, my symbol is less than, and then I go left to right, x minus 1 times 2, do my distributive property. Alright, so I've got this 3x plus 2 happening 3 times. So 3 times 3x, I'll have 9x. 3 times 2 plus 6, less than, do the same thing on this side. 2x minus 2. Want to move my x's to one side. I prefer to move my x's to the left. And I'll move my numbers to the right. Alright, so if I do that, I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. Now, although I did not write the 2x underneath the 9x, these are the like terms. These cannot combine. Again, this is counting numbers, this is counting x's. So I'll combine these like terms to 7x plus 6 less than negative 2. Need to move my x to the side, so I will subtract 6 minus 6. I have 7x less than negative 8. Last thing I need to do is divide both sides by 7. Leaving me with, and I'm just going to kind of go over here, x less than negative 8 over 7. Whew, not a very pretty looking picture, is it? Less than negative 8 over 7. And that's the process. The process remains the same as solving for x. We've just added the inequality. All right. And for what I want you to do on the little slip of paper is I want you to solve the following. I'm going to give you a simpler one here. Try to solve that problem. Show the steps. All right. And if you get at the end x less than 6, then you've done this correctly. So what do you need to do? You need to show very clearly in here the steps that you did. All right. Don't combine steps. Show them all nice and neat, nice and well organized, and a little quarter sheet of paper. And that's what you turn in when you come to class. Best of luck. We'll see you then.